All right, Broncos country, looks like we are live, but you guys know the drill by now. We've got to let this stream breathe for just a second here and make sure that everything is nice and stable all across the YouTube platform. Welcome in, Broncos country, to this Denver Broncos Syndicate live stream. I'm your host, Gage Madrid. We're going to go ahead and let a few people start streaming on in here. While we do, please be sure to smash that like button as well as subscribe to the channel. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. It helps tell YouTube's algorithm to push us out, and it helps us get seen by more and more members of Broncos country just like you and me. Additionally, if you want to go above and beyond in supporting the channel, please consider becoming a member today. The link is in the description below if you want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out, helping the channel grow, and helping improve the production quality of this content. We've got a few people in the house already, so let's go ahead and get into the news of the day. We have got the injury report for the Denver Broncos heading into their Week 14 game against the Las Vegas Raiders. So according to this tweet here from Chris Thomason, the official report still hasn't come out yet. DNP for the Broncos today are DJ Jones with his ankle injury that he suffered in the fourth quarter of the Washington game, and Nate Adkins, he is still DNP. Last week, Sean Payton said there looked to be a good chance of Adkins being ready to go, but he might not be ready yet. We'll see. It's still Wednesday. Both of these players can practice on a limited basis, both on Thursday and Friday, and they'll be able to go. However, if they don't practice throughout the week, then they're going to be out for this game. We're going to be talking about it throughout the week. This is a must-win game for the Denver Broncos. It's going to decide multiple tiebreakers. I will make a video about that a little bit later today, talking about what specific tiebreakers those are, but the Denver Broncos need to win this game, and DJ Jones, if he's unable to go, that would certainly be detrimental to their run game. As far as Nate Adkins is concerned, they were hoping he was going to be available, and last week they only played two tight ends. They only played Evan Ingram and Adam Troutman. They did not elevate Mercedes Lewis from the practice squad because he was out of elevations. We'll see if they want to promote Lewis full-time, because at this point, the Denver Broncos are going to need to figure something out in that tight end room. We got David in the house saying, hope it's not a major injury. And Cairo says, why isn't Adkins on IR? Should have been a while ago. You tell me, man. Clearly, the Denver Broncos thought that the injury wasn't serious enough to put him on IR. But at this point in time, that might be a mistake. The Denver Broncos, they normally are pretty clear whenever a player has to go on IR. I mean, they did take a while with Dre Greenlaw before they eventually shut him down. But outside of that, if a player has to go on IR, they will put said player on IR. I have no clue what has delayed this. Maybe it's kind of a fluid situation like Dre Greenlaw, where it's a true week-to-week situation. They didn't think he had to go on IR from the get-go. They thought this was going to be a less than 4-week injury, but either he suffered some sort of setback or it's just not responding in the way that they wanted it to. Sean Payton said last week he's not a candidate to go on IR at this point in time. So I really don't know what the Denver Broncos are going to do with Nate Adkins moving forward. Let me know, guys, if you have any more questions, comments, concerns about the Denver Broncos in the chat. We pretty much covered the news of the day here, so we'll go ahead and stay live for like another 5 minutes or so and make this kind of an open thread situation. If you guys have any questions about this upcoming game against the Las Vegas Raiders, or if you have any questions just moving forward for the Denver Broncos as we head into a really critical stretch of games. We play the Raiders, then obviously we've got the Packers and the Jaguars at home. Both of those games are going to be critical as both of those opponents are going to have playoff implications on the line. If Denver takes care of business in these games, then their path to the number one seed is quite clear, especially if they beat the Raiders and they get these tiebreakers that I'm going to talk about in a further video. The Broncos are in a really, really critical stretch of their season right now, and the injuries are starting to stack up for them a little bit. They got Pat Surtain back last week, which was a good thing. They also got Alex Singleton back, and some other good news from the day is that Jonah Ellis is probably going to be back as well. He practiced today. He practiced a little bit last week as well. I'm just checking on Twitter here. Oh, Mark Andrews got extended. Damn, that's crazy. I was just checking to see if the injury report had come out, and it has not officially come out yet, but that's a pretty good idea of what it's going to look like. I don't know if Ellis is going to be listed as limited or if he's going to be listed as DNP for this practice. But like I said earlier, guys, it's still Wednesday, so the Denver Broncos, they can have these guys get through the injury protocol. They can end up being limited tomorrow, limited on Friday. The Friday practice, as we talk about all the time, is really the tell-all. If the player's limited on Friday, that's a pretty good indication that they're going to be able to play in the game. But if they're DNP on Friday, that's the telltale sign that they're not going to be able to go. Are you thinking like 12-5 for the final record, maybe 13-4? I can't see better than that. So obviously right now they're at 10-2. I've got them taking care of business against the Raiders, so that should put them up at 11-2. Then you've got both Green Bay and Jacksonville. I think that they take care of business in both of those games as well. So that would put them at 12-2, 13-2. Then you've got Kansas City and the Chargers. If those games ultimately don't matter, then Denver might end up just sitting starters, at least in one of those games. If they lose both, it might not be the end of the world. So I think 13-4 is probably what I end up having them at. I don't know if they're going to get to 14-3. They very well could. Hell, they could even get to 15-2, but that's going to be really, really tough. Gabe says, damn, that sucks. We need DJ and Ellis. Benito and Cooper seem more gassed now that Ellis has been out. Well, Ellis, good news there. It seems that he's going to be available. At least things are trending that way. DJ, we're going to have to monitor things throughout the week. If he's unable to go, that's going to put a lot more pressure on Malcolm Roach and Ini Uwazurike. We got to talk about Ini Uwazurike, actually, because he is somebody who has been playing himself into a contract extension with the Denver Broncos, and that's also a potential reason why Denver isn't in a hurry to re-sign John Franklin Myers. Ini Uwazurike has played some phenomenal football, and Denver stuck with him throughout the gambling suspension and everything like that. So, yeah, they ended up really investing in Ini Uwazurike, and he's rewarded them. So we'll see if Denver wants to invest in him long term. Things are trending that way. But if DJ Jones is unable to go, I look at him, and of course I look at Malcolm Roach as guys who are going to need to step up. T-Bit says, who are we talking about? First time here. I mean, as far as like the team's concerned, we're talking about the Denver Broncos, but today we're talking about the injury report and DJ Jones and Nate Atkins not practicing today. So yeah, T-Bit, I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to there. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wind this thing down a little bit. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know if you have any last-minute questions, comments, or concerns while I do my outro here. Be sure to smash that like button as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. Those are both free and easy ways to show your support. And if you want to go above and beyond, be sure to become a channel member today. The link is in the description below if you want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out, helping the channel grow, and most importantly, helping improve the production quality of this content, audio, video, etc. We got Coach Chris in the house, one of our newest channel members. Thank you so much. Says, let's go Broncos. Gage, thank you for all your posts. Really appreciate it, Chris. Cairo asks, question, Moore still on the practice squad? Yes, he is, referring to Elijah Moore. I don't know if he's going to be elevated this week just because he just got here. He still has to learn the offense. Little Jordan Humphrey, we were able to get him into the game right away because he already knew the offense. He didn't have to learn anything. We'll see if Elijah Moore can learn enough of the routes and the terminology and the checks, so on and so forth. That way he can get into the game. If not, it might be next week against Green Bay. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.